The events of 1979 in Tselinograd was a demonstration of the residents of Tselinograd, Kokhchitov and Karaganda, which took place in June 16, 1979, against the government decision to create a German autonomous region in northern Kazakhstan. Main reason of creating German autonomy to prevent the mass departure of Germans to their historic homeland. Moscow thought of creating a new homeland, a German autonomous region in Kazakhstan, where some 936,000 Germans lived at that time. The organizer of the demonstration were the authorities of the Kazakh SSR, which initially did not support the idea of creating a German autonomy. According to former first secretary of the Communist Party of the Kazakhstan, Kunayev, a similar proposal was put forward by KGB chairman U. Andropov. It was decided to choose Ermentau, located in Tselinograd, now Akmola region, as the center of the future autonomy. Everything was done as usual, secretly, clumsily, without taking into account the opinion of the local population, without taking into account the important factors that the lands of the Ermentau district had historical significance for the Kazakh. In the morning of June 13, 1979, groups of Kazakh youth began to gather en masse in the secretary of Tselinograd near Lenin Square 5. The youth carried banners "Kazakh is indivisible" and "No to German autonomy." Give the authorities an ultimatum and demand an answer to the question: what fate awaits the Kazakh in their own land, and what will happen to autonomy? As a result, the authorities agreed to the demonstration demands and announced that the issue of German autonomy in Kazakhstan was completely off the agenda.
December 1986 uprising in Alma-Ata. The reason for uprising was the change of the top leadership of Kazakhstan. Long before that, criticism of Republic's leadership and personally against the first secretary of the Central Committee, Kunayev, had begun to sound in Kazakhstan and Moscow. On December 15, 1986, member of the CPSU Central Committee Razumovsky and first secretary of Ulyanovsk Regional Party Committee called him into Alma-Ata. On the morning of December 16, the plenum of the Central Committee of the Communist Party of Kazakhstan was held. There was one issue on the agenda: organization. The plenum lasted only 18 minutes. For such a short time, one of the most important issues was decided: the change of political leader Kunayev. Instead of him, Kolpin, who before his election had never worked in the Republic and was unknown to absolute majority of the population, was elected. In other words, the head of the Republic was chosen as a person who wasn't connected with Kazakhstan and didn't know the local condition. This was perceived as an insult to the Kazakh people and caused a spontaneous protest.
Young people, there were about 25,000-30,000 of them, came out with slogans like "To every nation, it's our leader." Long live Lenin's idea. We are for voluntary convergence of nation, not forced. Down with Kolbin. We are for independence of Kazakhstan. Soon the disturbed assessment of situation transmit to the center Moscow, provided the basis for a decision to send special units for internal troops for the other regions of country to Alma-Ata. The authorities tried to present to the demonstrators to the people as alcoholic and drugs addicts. It was necessary to use force against such hooligan crowds hostile to the population.
Undoubtedly, the December events and the events in Tselinograd played a general positive role in the history of Kazakhstan, because they contributed to the development of the national consciousness of the Kazakh, had an impact on society as a whole, and its political consciousness. There were powerful shocks for Kazakh society, especially for its Kazakh part, which experienced a very strong shock. These events were the manifestation of protest of the USSR population against the dictate of the totalitarian regime of the center, which trampled the rights of our people to live, to develop their language and culture.